Colors are a very important part of branding and designs, and the color you choose to work with can make or mar your visual representation. Today, I'll be talking to us about colors and things you need to consider before picking a color for your brand, before making a final decision on the kind of color you want to work with. For me, colors is beyond being beautiful or what they look like. As a designer, to me, it means a lot more. Before you even say anything about your brand, you already understand what your brand is all about. And I will go through each of those colors and talk to you about when you might be considering them to use them for your brand. So, for instance, now I'll start with the base color that we all know. I'm not going to bore you with the whole fine art terms about colors. So, we start with the very base one, the red, the blue, and the green. Talking about the red, we all know red is more of passion, entertainment, more of energy in terms of you having to work with red color. Possibly your brand is all about love, it's all about an entertainment brand. So you will consider using the red color. While colors like blue represent trust, maybe stability, represent things that give people wisdom. So that's where you see brand like a water corporation, they tend to use colors like blue represent water as well. It makes people understand they can actually trust this brand as well. We have hospitals as well that work with blue a lot, so it's more of you telling the story of your brand, like, hey guys, come on, you can trust me. And colors like greens as well, they represent nature, they represent health, they represent things that people can easily relate with around them. That's why you see brand like soap, or maybe you have a healthy food brand. Most people work with green color, and so on and so forth. We have color like purple. I think purple always go with the beauty industry, luxury, and stuff like that. So those colors, each and every one of them, they evoke an emotion. They let people know what they will be getting from your brand even before you say too much about your brand. So be careful, be deliberate, know exactly what kind of color you want to work with for your brand, so you don't end up working with blue and when your brand doesn't speak the same language as the color you're working with. So next now we're talking about will be the color harmony. Most of the time when we have a main color you want to work with, it's important for you to go along with colors that actually work well with your dominant color. Because when I want to make a design, when I want to make anything that has to do with branding a company, we first start by getting our dominant color right. And once we get our dominant color right, we can now go ahead and work around the colors we can add with it. Sometimes called the accompanying color. You get color you need to accompany them with. So there are ways to go about this. Talking about color harmony, there are ways you can easily. So either you go the monochrome way. These are colors that are of the same spectrum. So that means you get maybe the lighter shade of the color or the darker shade of the color. So you spread across the monochrome. You can pick a lighter shade of it or a darker pattern of the same color. Maybe you can now throw in a white or throw in a black on it, depending on the mood and feel you want to go with for your design. For other things like analogous colors, they are more of colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. If you look at the color wheel, there are some colors that are beside each other. So even maybe if you are considering going that route, you can look into that direction as well. So colors that are close to each other on the color wheel, we'll call them the analogous color. And the last one I'll be talking about when it comes to color harmony will be the complementary colors. So I think this is more or less of like what most of people are used to, and most of the time, complementary colors, they are more of the colors that are directly in front of those colors on the color wheel. So you need to take a look at those ones when you are about to select your color for your brand. So we've done the color psychology, we've done the color harmony, we've done everything. Now for the design proper, one of the tricks I always go into is pretty simple. I get my dominant color right, just the way I mentioned it the other time. Then I get this is my own personal go-to tips in selecting colors, because I make it easy for myself. Because at the end of the day, I can't really go through the color wheel all the time when I'm designing. Sometimes you just want to get the job out of the way. And then sometimes it comes with a lot of training. You already understand things you want to do before you even start. So you know what colors work with each other well. For instance, when you pair a black and a good color, you're talking about luxury, you're talking about power, you're talking about something strong. That's why you see a lot of brands that choose to work with black and gold. And when you look at colors like purple and maybe gold as well, again, look at the beauty industry, you see a lot of them using the color purple with a tone of gold on it. So for me, those colors work well together. So when I'm working on a brand and already decide on what color I want to work with, so this is the way I will go about it and select the color that work for that particular dominant color that I already decided I'm working on. So for instance, I'm working with the blue. So I just go into the color space, get my dominant color right, look for a lighter shade of the same color, put it by the side. Then I throw in a white, then I throw in a black. Then most of the time, I'm known for having very good pop on my design. So most of the time I throw in a yellow or lemon just to add a little bit of pop into whatever design that I'm making. So when you're making your design, get your dominant color right, get your accompanying color right, which you can just do by going the monochromatic way and selecting a lighter shade or a darker shade of the same color you're working with. So that way you get to have, and most of the time colors with brand always come in maybe three faces. Like you want to get three colors right when you're selecting a color for your brand. I'll do your dominant color, the accompanying color, and maybe a white or a black to accompany them. A lot of people forget maybe white and black are also colors, but they are very good color that had different dimensions to your brand. So I work with them a lot. So after I already get those colors right, another thing I always consider, or another thing I put at the back of my mind when I'm making a design, is looking at those designs and understanding like, oh, this is how I want to use my color. If I have a lighter shade of a color, I'm definitely going to be making my background a darker shade. And if I'm working with a lighter background, I'm definitely going to be making my design or my text or my information on a darker shade. So it allows the information to be very visible. It allows you to be able to read them, and those are the way you get things out of the way. So to sum things up, understand the color you want to select for your brand, because a lot of color evoke emotion, and being careful and being deliberate about the color you want to work with can make an impact on what your audience think about your brand. Thank you for watching the video up to this point, and I hope you like and subscribe to my page. I'll see you some other time. I still remain smart. Peace.